A very warm welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you today to host you for our third series of our webinars in improving academic and scholarly writing and applications. And today we are talking about writing an effective cover letter, a CV, and a resume. For those that you have not met, my name is Godfrey Mayoka, and I'm hosting you today in the context of preparing for your graduate school admission or job opportunities or a scholarship or fellowship application. And in this webinar, we're going to review documents that we have discussed previously as being important for your next step in your career, education journey, or professional journey. And it's important for us to appreciate the differences in these documentations, what purpose they serve, and therefore understanding what they contain, the highlights of their contents. And therefore, when we know that, we can be able to know how to organize and prepare our documents in a compelling manner to be able to get these competitive positions. And then we'll finish up with some final tips and tricks, and therefore show you some pitfalls to avoid. So, if you've looked at our previous videos, you will see that we have already covered how to write a strong personal statement or motivation letter. We have also covered how to seek a good reference letter and how to facilitate your referee to help you with writing a strong letter of recommendation. And today we're talking about cover letter and resume and CV. All these, they work together to be able to give you a chance to present yourself virtually to the hiring team. So what's a cover letter? Cover letter, as the name suggests, it foreruns or is the cover to the application that you're going to make, and it's a document that gives you a chance to write in a personalized way, in your own unique human way, your case of providing what you can do in the job opportunity that you are seeking or in the research opportunity that you are seeking for. What do you have? What experiences do you have that you feel are matching to this opportunity? So it provides you the chance to be able to provide some context to why you're applying for this opportunity and where do you see the matching between what the job needs and what you have in terms of your skills and your experiences. And you have a chance to be able to narrate that in a human way, a compelling way, in your own personalized way. On the other hand, a CV is a more comprehensive or detailed document that will provide the full scope of your academic and professional history, and typically has sections that will include your education history, your research and publications, if it's especially for in the context of an academic application, or awards and teaching experience, or mentorship and supervision. And on the other hand, a CV, which is a more concise and precise document, it provides a summary of your skills and your experiences and your qualifications, which are customized or tailored to the specific job that you're applying for. So a resume, as compared to a CV, is much more concise. So it's brief, usually just about a page or 2 pages. And at times when they are needing a resume, they will tell you, send us a resume that is no more than maybe 2 pages or no more than 1 page. And in some companies or some countries, there is a standard expectation of what a resume should look like. And it's good for you to have a look at that when you are preparing yours. So a quick comparison between a CV and a resume is that a CV, as we've mentioned, can be long because it's giving you the full scope of your history, academically and professionally speaking, whereas a resume provides highlights and therefore it's much brief and about 1 to 2 pages. While CVs are used typically for academic applications, research and fellowships, grants, and so forth in the academic sense, resumes are more popular when it comes to normal industry jobs, private sector, business-oriented jobs. They want to see the highlight of what you can do, what you have in terms of your skill sets, and how this will align with the opportunity that you're seeking for. So As such, the structure of a CV is more of generic, standard, and chronological order, showing what you've done from this. You moved to this, you finished this school, you went to this, you did this company, you went to this, you did this. But for a resume, the chronology might not be so important, but rather than it could be that how you arrange and order your skills and experiences to match what the job is looking for could be what will be more necessary for a resume. So there's a flexibility in it, in the structure. And then you can, of course, be able to update your CV regularly as you get more qualifications, or you get more experience, or you get more awards. And for the resume, the important factor is that you have to adjust or prepare, custom make a resume for each application that you make. A cover letter, as we've mentioned, is not supposed to be a repetition of what you have written in your CV or your cover or your resume, but it's supposed to be an opportunity for you to be able to now convince the hiring team why you are a good fit for this position. So ideally, you're supposed to introduce yourself to, if it's a job, to the employer in terms of your background and your interests, and then highlight now your key strengths, qualifications, competencies that make you to be a match for the job opportunity, and explain why you will be quite a strong fit for this role. So in that one page, you are able to summarize what you can be able to do based on your background and why this opportunity or this position or this organization is appealing to you. And then you finish off with a positive penning off, showing optimism that you look forward for further discussions on how you can be able to join the team and be able to contribute to their success. So we quickly have a look at what's the typical structure of a resume. We have the contact information section, of course, having your full name and your contact details, both phone and email. And if you have already working, ideally preferred would be a professional email address. If you're not, of course, your personal email address will be fine. And increasingly important has been you including a link to a professional profile, could be LinkedIn or other website that showcases your work. And then at times it's necessary for you to include maybe your location. It could show that you're available for the job opportunity if you're selected, and that distance for you will not be a challenge, especially if it's an opportunity in a place where uh, the the job is located and is close proximity to where you are, or that there will be no labor laws that will hinder you from taking up the position as quick as possible. Then you have a section on professional summary where you provide in about up to 4 sentences or so a quick snapshot of your career. And in this, you highlight your key strengths and your achievements, and what you are looking forward to, and what you can bring to the employer if you are given this opportunity. So once again, customize your professional summary to the particular job that you are applying for. There's a next section about key skills and competencies, which ideally you write in bullet forms. What are the sets of your technical skills, soft skills that you have, which are relevant for the job opportunity? And this could be, for example, if you're in a field that the data analysis is important, we show that. If it's a communication department you're going to join in scientific communication or scientific officer, in terms of managing communication and meetings, if you can show that you are strong in this aspect, it will be a good thing for you to be able to include that. And then you come to the work experience section, which you indicate in a reverse chronological order from the most recent up to going backwards. You show what you've been doing. What were you doing? What was your job title? In what organization were you working? Between what time period did you work? From when to when? If it's still ongoing, you can write there to current or up to date. And then give a brief summary of the key highlights of what was your job or what were your achievements in at that workplace. So in bullet form, and try to use what we call strong action verbs you led this, and this, coordinated functions in this and that, developed a framework for this and that. They show your active participation and taking up of responsibility in getting things done, which is something that any organization will be impressed to hear. Then have a brief summary of your education. Again, reverse chronology from your most recent qualification, showing where did you study, for what degree, and within which time period. If there was any outstanding performance or aspect you want to highlight, you can be able to indicate there, or a topic of your research that you did for a thesis, you can indicate that. You can then move on to show any certifications or professional developments that you have achieved, if there are any outstanding short courses or workshops or certificates that you have attained, including whether you study them online or so, or licenses that could be relevant for the job opportunity, you indicate them. And then if it's in the context of an academic or an industry that will value publications or conferences or awards, you can be able then to highlight your most relevant ones. And then some industries having language skills could be important, especially in the context of dealing with global community. It could be advantageous if you can indicate, okay, you're good in English, and maybe what other foreign language, or what other sets of language skills that you have. And now in an increasingly digital world, digital skills are definitely very crucial, and you can indicate this. And in some job opportunities, this is something that you should explicitly indicate, because it demonstrates that you are ready for the job, to take up the job responsibilities. So typically for a resume, keep it short. 1 to 2 pages is enough. Have a clear formatting, consistent headings, and your font sizes, just things that will make your document look clean and neat, and keeping it relevant and focused for the job opportunity. And as we said, use active verbs to be able to quantify your achievements and the roles that you played previously. Avoid being vague. So if your work led to increasing productivity by a particular margin, or saving wastages in an aspect, especially when it comes to financing or accounting roles, for example, or to show leadership, quantify that. We led to 30% increase in this, or there was a 20% reduction in wastages due to this and this. But to show that what your leadership could bring on board to your organization. On the other hand, for a CV, similar type of information but with further details, especially if it's academic application. So the typical contact information that you have spoken about, professional summary that is optional but could be helpful to just highlight your quick background and your career visions and ambition. And then key skills and competencies, as also mentioned. And then your education in a reverse chronology manner, as we've already indicated. And if you already have done a higher degree with a research component, you could indicate there what was the title of your research. If you want any accolades, Dean's Prize, Department Prize, or Research Prize, you would be it would be great for you to be able to indicate that, as it demonstrates your ability for scientific writing and for research as well. You go ahead to indicate any professional experience. What have you done? What was your job title? Where, and within which dates? And what were your key responsibilities or achievements? So again, use strong action verbs and brief statements. You don't have to write long, winding sentences. Brief to capture the essence of what you did or what you achieved. Then in the context of academic applications, of course, research or mentorship supervision is very important. Show if there are any projects that you've done, people that you have maybe worked together with that are important in your field. If there is any significant milestones that your research has achieved, you can be able to indicate that. And then, of course, publications and presentations. These are important in an academic setting and in some industry setting. Highlight some of your relevant ones. If there are too many, you can just indicate that you have over this number of publications, including the following. But in a CV, if they ask you full length, then put all of them there, if that is what they have asked for, to give a view of what has been the scope of your research and publication output. And then if you've won any grants or fellowships, you indicate which funding agency that was that gave you the grant or the fellowship, what was the title of the project you're working on, and how much was it? Is the project passed? Is the project still ongoing? And then if there are any details about any awards you have won, as we mentioned, teaching or research mentorship experience, indicate that, indicating uh, some of the highlights, if there's any outstanding achievements by those whom you've mentored, or details of what are the courses that you've taught and for which category of students, or they masters, or they postgraduate students, masters and above, or they undergraduate students, were you a lead convener for a program or something. Then you can also go ahead and mention any affiliations to professional bodies or any services that you have offered, whether voluntary or in a professional or scientific community, as this shows your involvement in continuous professional development as well as giving back to the community. And then you can also be able to mention any language skills that you have, technical skills, soft skills that could just show that you are complete in the sense that you are aware of the tools that can aid effective productivity at work. And then you can indicate references, two or three, or you can just indicate that these are available upon request. So as you can see, the CV is a little bit more detailed, more information to be provided when you compare to the resume, and you need to know what have they asked you to submit. If they didn't indicate, at time they say a CV, and time they say a resume, and it means a resume, keep it to the reasonable length of 2 pages. If they say a CV, check how much information do you need to provide, and in the context of the opportunity that you are applying or seeking for. So, what should you do to be able to ensure that you have a very good and a strong CV or a resume? Ensure that before you start writing the CV and the resume, you have read through the job application that you are desiring to respond to. What are they looking for? Or if it is an application you are submitting in the context of an academic position to be hosted, for example, look at what your potential supervisor, what your host is into, what research are they into, what is the research group doing. So then come out in a very clear and a concise way to depict yourself, your personality, your accomplishment, your skills, and arrange it in a way that is easy to follow. Let it be in a harmony and in a very flowing manner. Organize your work well. Those subheadings, let them be consistent. Let the formatting be consistent across the documents. They are very good examples of templates that you can access online that could help you to be able to order your content in a way that you can be able to have a document finally that is visually appealing, but of course also having the substance. And that is what is the focus in our webinar today. What should be in your document? And then once you have that in place, arranging and formatting it then becomes easy to do. So mind your language. Don't just use general words. Use active verbs where you can. Led this, organized this, developed this and that. And where you had achievements, don't just say hardworking and work under pressure. Try to show this by quantifying what have you been able to achieve previously. As we've said previously, maybe you led to 30% increase in productivity in maybe your department. Maybe you led to a percentage reduction in wastage or something. You help to circumvent some challenges to do with maybe teamwork or something like that. You show that and the impact of your intervention in making the organization to have been more productive. Then, of course, always, as with any academic document, professional document, ensure that you proofread to read your document of any errors. And because you'll have read the job description, what they're looking for, you will try to include keywords that featured in the job posting in your application. And then, of course, for your CV, you need to keep updating it as you get more qualification or you get more accomplishments, and for your CV as well, if it's relevant for the particular application that you are making. You need to then be able to watch out against some of the following pitfalls. Uh, don't just prepare one CV, one resume, and send it to 5, 10 different job opportunities, hoping that they will just work. No, it doesn't work like that. Be able to tailor to the particular opportunity that you're applying to. Fitting is very important. No one size fits all of the applications. Don't be tempted to say, okay, the more I write, the longer I have for a CV or a resume, the more impressive I can be to the hiring team. No, it is the relevance that should be the guiding thing here, and how to package that relevance. Be sure not to be vague. Don't just use generic language without justifying or without quantifying or showing what was the impact of your interventions. Don't just say I was responsible for this. Don't just say I contributed to this. Be able to show that led in this, organized this, and then, as we mentioned, be able to quantify your output or your interventions, how they helped the department or the organization. Typos, grammar errors, they'll always water down your application, and they'll make you look like you're not keen, and nobody will want to take on any employee that is not seeming to be keen. And don't overuse big words, general words. Be able to customize for the position, looking at your past experience, and be able to interweave to be able to show a specific competence and aspect that you can be able to bring on board. If there are any gaps in your history, work history, be able to account for it. If you took a break because of education, because of family reasons, because of health reason, just indicate that between this and this, uh, was on leave or was away for work reasons for this and that. It helps to show transparency in any career breaks, and not to leave the hiring team doubting, wondering why was this person not working, or why is there no history telling about their engagements between this time period and this time period. Then also, as much as you wish to be able to sound confident and sound an appropriate candidate, be sure not to to exaggerate yourself. Don't misrepresent your experience. Just measure it out, suitable for experience that you have and for the opportunity. And if you are called for an interview, you can be able to uh, speak for yourself and show your conviction that you are able to take on the job, and you are adaptable, and you're able to adjust to the demands for the opportunity. So it's important to appreciate that all these documents, cover letter, the CV, and the resume, they work together to be able to help preface your application, your documents that you're going to submit, and forerun the possibility of you being invited for an interview. So they need to be in harmony, and there must be matching information in harmony across these documents, in addition to any of the other documents that we have discussed before, the reference letters, recommendation letters, or the personal statements, or the motivation letter. And ensure that you do not just speak things generally, that I am talented in this, I am a team worker, I am what. Try to contextualize and bring it into perspective with your experience, past experience, and what the team is looking for this new job posting. So remember that these documents are going to stand between you and your interview, or you and your hiring. So take the necessary effort to be able to ensure that you do your best, and you check them, that they are giving you the best chances for securing these competitive applications. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat in the comment section, and we'll be able to respond to them. And we have resources for you to refer to in terms of writing your CV and the resume and cover letter based on what we have discussed, and you'll find further details on the link and the information on our website, and you can refer to this for your application. And certainly wish you the very best. And together with what you have presented before, On the other, strong writing of a personal statement, motivation letter, as well as the references. I hope that this set completes the major documentations that you need for an application. And if there is any other aspect that you'd like us to discuss that could help you in your academic professional journey, feel free to reach out to us through our website or through the email address provided. And it will be a joy to support you in your professional and academic journey. So thank you so much for watching, and wishing you all the very best. Thank you. Bye bye.